Well, with me I have Keshawn and Jordyn, and we're down here at the Peppermill Lounge, and of course it's Vegas Live with Ninon. And we're actually going to be talking about something a little bit different, but it's actually very, very much in now, which is podcasts. And for me, it was. It's funny, every time I start up, they start up. It's the funniest thing. You know, they haven't done anything for.
They know.
They know.
They know.
They know when to come in. But we haven't done anything about podcasts, and I've always wondered, what is a podcast? Why is a podcast? Anyway, I found out, and we are now, through my producer, we're now actually doing podcasts.
Yeah, right.
We're getting, I think it's Buzz or something, or Buzz, whatever they call themselves, but we go through a certain platform.
Okay.
So you two have put this program together. And you're both from what, Arizona?
Yeah, he's originally from Ohio.
Okay.
I'm from Arizona, and then we got one more who had to stay back due to COVID,
Okay.
His name is Kyle. He's from Illinois. So
okay.
we got a little bit of a...
So you got a little round table
Yes,
going on
ma'am.
there. So you're kind of touching all bases.
Yes, ma'am.
What made you go into the podcast business, and how's it going?
So honestly, it was a drunk idea at one point.
That's all right. It's going to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go.
Let's just
do a
talk
podcast.
let's just talk a whole lot of stuff. Let's just get drunk and talk a whole lot of mess. But then I got sober, and when I got sober, probably within my first 2 months, I started to get bored. And the first time I relapsed, because that wasn't my first time getting sober.
I don't know what we're talking. I thought we were talking about a podcast. We were talking about him getting sober.
Here we go. We're going all over the place, right?
I know. Yes.
But yeah, so the second time I got sober, I was like, I can't get bored again, because I know what that leads into.
Mm-hmm.
So, the podcast came back into my mind, and I just made it happen. We talked about making it happen before the show.
But you obviously knew about podcasts. You knew what they were. You knew how they worked, and you knew that you could kind of do something.
I didn't know anything about a podcast.
I was kind of familiar with it, actually. I was very familiar with it. I've been familiar with different platforms.
Now, were you drunk like he was drunk, or?
No, actually, we had aligned mindsets. So we were both wanted to be able to educate people on cannabis, safe ways to use it, and the destigmatization of it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So this is how you. So you have you been friends a long time?
Going on 6 years plus.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
what else we get?
I don't know how many tables. This is really quite funny.
Yeah,
What's
we'll
going? Do you want
take
to go and
one.
check that out?
It's like every time we talk, they talk.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Well, that's okay, because we're down here at the Peppermill, and they have business, we have business, we all. That's
And
why
it's
we're
lovely
here.
in here.
It is. It's a great atmosphere, and
this
I
is-
love every minute of it. So
I
when
do
they
as
talk,
well.
it doesn't bother me at all.
No, I'm ours ready.
Yes, absolutely. Where's our food?
We need a refill.
Where's our stuff?
No,
Where's
yeah,
our
I
stuff?
love it.
Of course, well, that's why we're down here.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we promote the Peppermill, which is wonderful. But also, they've got all these parties going on, and what have you, parties too.
It's lovely to see with everything that's going on. People are still attempting to get out, have a good time,
I think
and
it's
mingle
great.
with each
Yes,
other.
yes, I think it's wonderful.
Especially with how everything's been going so far. Being stuck and restricted either in your house or being able
So
to.
as a young person with this COVID thing going on, how have you felt about it?
Honestly, it sucks, but we've made the best out of it, right? Our studio closed for a month, so we started running our podcast from the house on Zoom. And what we did was we brought the community in, and anybody that was available that night, which we ran every single night, was welcome to really just vent and talk about how they felt that day, what they've experienced. And honestly, we did it so well that it's got an article written about it.
So you actually kind of delved into it and got what the younger generation are feeling about it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's for real? Do you think it really is happening? Or do you think a lot of this is like trying to keep people sort of away from each other?
I don't want to say it's fake, because some people we've known have actually come into contact with the disease, virus, whatever you want to call it.
It's a virus.
Yeah, virus. But this is also proof for our generation that it's a thriving moment if you could succeed any type of thing in this time and age, especially with the pandemic going on. And I feel like that's what we've been able to do, thrive through this crazy pandemic at challenging times. So
So even as a younger generation, this is a challenging time for you, because the young people want to be out all the time and they want to do things all the time.
That's a part of what how you get out
That's
there.
life with the
Yeah,
younger
yeah.
generation.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of a lockdown for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely been a lockdown, but at the same time, for me, because what I do is, I'm also do pastries, right? So I'm a pastry chef. I run a bakery out of my house.
Oh, how lovely.
So
Can you do that with the COVID? Or are there other restrictions? Because I know food-wise
they haven't restricted us, but I did close my bakery for a month, just out of
courtesy
safety.
and safety and everything else.
I didn't want to be trying to sell pastries when everybody's trying to make money and save their dollars.
Well, you're
and
trying
sure.
to make money too. I mean, that's
Yeah,
your business. But you hit.
I have a heart for people,
Yeah, that's sweet. That's sweet.
And that's kind of what we drive here for on our podcast. Not just the destigmatization of marijuana, but really to encourage people to be the best person they could be. Because 2 years ago, I just hit my 2-year sobriety anniversary date, here in August, and 2 years ago, I couldn't even tell you I'd be sitting here talking to you. I would probably be at that bar.
You'd be at the bar drinking.
Face
at
down.
the table.
Yeah,
Face down.
doing lines in
Oh,
the
well, wait a
bathroom
second.
or something.
So you were kind of an alcoholic.
Oh, I was a super alcoholic.
It was a super.
No, kind
he was
of.
a super duper alcoholic.
Yeah, I
So
was-
2 years sober,
Yes, ma'am.
and you were not an alcoholic, and you probably don't drink that much, and
No.
you seem to be very quiet, but you've got the energy, and you're more of the quiet.
I'm
So
more reserved.
You're more reserved. You're
Yeah.
more the methodical thinking of how.
I definitely
So-
think things more
So
thoroughly.
how is this podcast going to work, and is it working? My idea about podcasts or anything out on the internet or anything you put out there has to have a dramatic side to it, and has to be very short, and has to be something that the younger generation are looking for.
So
Do you do that?
I think with our podcast, what's different is we really don't. There's a term called clout chasing, right? Where you
I
want.
don't know. I just found out.
Yeah. You wanna basically you're doing stuff for attention to
Correct.
gain and
Well, that's
seek
what you
attention.
need to do. You've got to get attention so they get to you.
Yeah.
But there's ways you go about it in each field you choose to follow. So if you're doing it the correct way, you'll naturally gain the attention
Yeah.
instead of doing something drastic to
Are
get as supposed
Are
to
you
be
trying to
drastic.
reach influencers? Because I know influencers right now is a thing where people know a lot of people.
That's not our main goal, but really just trying to educate.
Yes.
Educate.
We just want to educate people on the plant.
On the plant. And what would that mean?
Marijuana. Medical
Cannabis
marijuana.
is the correct, more politically correct term.
There's so many terms
Yeah.
for it, but
So
There's
that-
lots of terms for marijuana.
Yeah. Again, but that's really what the podcast is the main focus on. Is
Yeah.
to educate patients, especially with it becoming recreational. We want to educate recreational users. We want to educate the elderly because more people are starting to come into using plants and
and
tinctures and things of
for
that
their
nature
joints.
instead of pharmaceuticals because the
so
side
you're
effects.
educating people actually on marijuana and
Yes,
everything.
ma'am.
Cannabis-based products, everything.
You know, I go back to when they had liquor came in, and liquor, that was also, nobody wanted liquor, they wanted it banned and everything else. And this is very similar to that same thing. But I don't think there's any way of stopping people from, being inquisitive about it,
Right,
or
correct.
even taking it or trying it, and realizing it's not as bad as you all think it is.
yeah. And really there's ways you can take it and it doesn't affect your mind at all. It's really got its health purposes for arthritis or joint pain. If you've broken a bone, anxiety. If you have problems with eating, it has a lot of medical benefits, especially for cancer patients that's going through chemo and don't have a sense of appetite. They would give them some RSO, for the pain and then to relax their body.
I was gonna say you could use it for serious cases such as that, or everyday uses,
Seizures.
even through
Well,
menstrual
seizures,
cycles.
the
Menstrual
seizures
cycles
I
for
know
women
is really
too.
good for it. I
Yeah,
know that.
Yeah,
the seizures.
yeah. Even menstrual cycles
for
for
the
women,
younger
it lessens the
generation.
pains for
Yeah.
your cramps and all
But
that
it's
stuff.
funny, when you take this marijuana, which is the medical marijuana, it doesn't go directly to any part of your body, it goes all the way through your body. So
Yeah.
things that you didn't know you had, you can get cured. But it won't, you go and buy a pill for your heart or blood thinner or this or that. It's for different parts of your body. And I often wonder, how does that pill know where to go?
Okay, so
It just hits the bloodstream and it takes off, right?
Well, that's it goes into the blood.
Yeah.
So with marijuana, it goes through the whole system. It doesn't actually for the heart. It's not for the liver. It's not for anything. But it is medically good for you.
It
Yeah.
is.
And
Correct,
there's no side effects.
There's no negative side
As
effect.
far as, okay, maybe like your everyday side effects, maybe if you're smoking, depends on how you take it. So there may be such as like dry eyes or like, dry mouth. But
Yes.
other than that, not like serious side effects, not negative side effects.
No negative side
You
No
effects.
can-
serious negative side effects.
You can get a real serious case of paranoia if you like over medicate, like take a real strong dose of like an edible or something, and like you would think somebody was out to
Well,
like
that's
kill
like
you.
anything. I mean, if you take anything in a big
large
way,
increment, yeah.
But you won't ever die
excessive
from
amount.
it. Yeah,
Right.
you can't
There's
ever.
never been a recorded death of anybody overdosing on marijuana.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. Never been a death on it.
not one recorded death.
How
of
old are you?
overdosing. I am 25.
I'm 28.
28. So you're kind of in the right group of sort of, you've got the younger ones and then you've got the older ones.
Yeah.
A lot of states don't have it legal. It's not legal. Do you think it's going to become legal? Do you think eventually, the whole world eventually?
I would
probably gonna
hope
take it
so,
on?
but federally right now it's not looking that way because they don't see the benefits leaning towards their way as far as they're getting money out of it, 'cause-
Well, they want to get money out of it because
Yeah.
anything a state, and if you don't know this, but majority of states, the reason why they encourage businesses or encourage stuff to come to their state is taxes. So if they make taxes on
Right.
whatever they
It builds
do,
the economy.
it builds their economy, it builds their state, it makes them a bigger and stronger and everything
Yeah.
else. Whereas with the marijuana right now, and I don't know if you realize, but the marijuana, you always have to pay cash for it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why?
Yeah, because they can't hold a bank account.
they can't hold it. Yeah, they can't hold a tax on it, and that's why it hasn't been made legal federally yet. They don't know how to tax it. It's too
No.
many different ways. It's too many different
Well,
things you can do
it
with
actually
the
goes
plant.
back to the banks. The
Yeah,
banks are
they
not.
can't hold a bank
hold
account.
the
They can't-
money.
yeah, they can't
And
hold
then
it. It's too
because
much.
because they can't hold that, but they also can't put it into credit cards either. So you can't
That
buy
too.
by credit cards. So, and I think this is all going to overcome, and I think it's all going to be sort of, it's going to become legal. Because a lot of these
I would hope
marijuana,
so.
well, a lot of these marijuana people, I mean, they're getting paid cash. Are they telling everybody how much cash they get in?
No.
They won't do that. They won't do that.
I'm not going.
So
I'm
they
not
do-
going there. I don't know if they say yes or no. Or they, somebody gave them $100 and they says $50. I don't know what
Well,
people
legally-
when you have cash, believe me.
Yeah, the dispensaries are legally supposed to keep track of all that.
Of
Everything
any transaction,
is
yeah.
in a POS.
And I'm quite sure, probably 90% of them do. But you've got a lot of when people are dealing with cash, it's a little different.
10%, yeah.
It still might be some black market stuff going on.
Yeah,
That-
black
that-
market stuff going on, everything.
It's
anyway,
gonna thrive. That
but,
black
But
market's
it's
gonna
nice to
thrive.
hear that both of you in the younger generation, what you feel about this and how you're trying to put it in the podcast arena, because that's very big out there, of how to use it and what to do and the different types, right? So that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say we're doing something right. We just won an award for the podcast at the Las Vegas Cannabis Awards here.
Really?
Which just
Best
held on Friday.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
wonderful. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Were you expecting an award or did you think you might get one?
Honestly, no.
We just got, I mean, from not being out here, to even get nominated for an,
That's cool.
an
to get
award,
recognized, we
yeah.
were ecstatic. We were like, what?
So
We
did you
didn't
come
know
out and
this.
had to pick up the award?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We just came to the award show and they called our name and we.
Wow! How
Yeah,
about
so
that?
I figured I'd reach out to you and see if you had time for us while we were
Well,
out
we've
here.
always got time.
Yeah,
we always
that's
have
exactly
time.
what you said too.
Yes,
That's
always got
awesome.
time for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
did I think I
You
remember
did say that.
We've
Yeah.
always
I make
got
time for my guest.
I
I was
make
like,
time for my
oh,
guests.
dude,
Of
I
course,
dapped you up
of
through the
course.
phone. Bam.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. If you can't help somebody else, what's the point of being here?
Yeah,
you
this
have
is
to
a
help
blessing.
other people. Absolutely. How can anybody reach you?
So you can find us on social media at the Hippy Chronicles. That's on all social media. We have YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. the Hippy
Facebook,
Chronicles.
Instagram.
Yeah.
At
Everything.
the Hippy Chronicles,
Or-
all lowercase, all together.
We'll make it easier for you. You could go to www.hippylifeent.com. That has everything from our podcast to our merchandise to
Two
Our social
entrepreneurs doing very, very well, extremely well. They're absolutely amazing. And I wish both of you good luck with everything you're doing. Stay on that straight and narrow, and you'll make it.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
If you
Appreciate
stay
it.
on that straight and narrow, it's amazing how it works out. When you start taking shortcuts,
Yeah, I've tried the shortcut route like 2 times when we just started, and I'll tell you, it backfired. So
It always
anybody out there
backfires.
thinking about the shortcuts, it's not gonna it's not gonna work in your favor. So I really like what you said earlier when we were talking, that if you want something to happen, make it happen. And I think that's kind of how I live my life. Like I want it, I want to be the best, so I work hard for that every single day. And I realize that sometimes you gotta step back though.
a step back, but
Yeah.
you've also got to be very focused and have a clear picture of where you want to be, what you want.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have to have that, and you have to follow through. You're going to have a few times when you come to the edge of the cliff, you're going to fall down. Just pick yourself up and keep going, because there's always people out there that are trying to destroy or ruin what you're doing out of jealousy. I don't know why people do that, but they do that for no reason. But you have to overcome it and move forward and go for your challenge, because jealousy is a dreadful thing.
Yeah.
Don't ever have jealousy. It's a horrible thing.
I feel like, don't you feel like if the jealous person would just come to you and be like, hey, how did you do that? And then we sat down and talked about how
I do that all the time.
and we
I have another program that I do actually. It's been going on for a long time. It's called Ninon Speaks Media Image. And I truly help a lot of the younger generation of how not to cut corners and how to do this and don't let other people. When I was in England, when I was very young, I was modeling, and I had more competition in modeling than you could ever think of. So I was always being cut out, always trying to be cut out. But I stood my ground, and I just tenacity. That, when they've got to choose somebody, why can't it be me? And that's how I thought of it. And I thought, well, they're all like that, and I'm going to be like this. So it's just a matter of what you have inside of you.
Yes, ma'am.
If you want it, go and get it.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, the world is out there for everybody. There's no restrictions. So anybody who makes an excuse, they're really hurting themselves. Don't make the excuses. Sometimes it's very hard and very difficult and very tough. And sometimes you can get depressed. You think, I can't do this, and I got so many people against me, and so many things happen. But you can't let that happen. But it does not come on a plate.
Oh, you're right.
I don't care whether you're rich or whether you're poor. It does not come.
No,
If
it
you're
doesn't.
rich, actually, if you've got coming from money and you're trying to get into the business, it can be harder for you, because nobody wants to do business with you because you've already got money. On my speech, on my pedestal,
Oh, man.
I wish both of them really, really good luck, and just keep pushing along. And as you said, we don't have this in Arizona, and I turned around and said, well, if you don't have it, make it.
Yes, ma'am.
So make it work.
Let's do it.
Go and get yourself a red sofa. Go and get yourself a producer. Get all this stuff together. Just do it.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. I needed this today.
Yeah,
This was
very
a good
good. I
pick
love
me
it.
up.
I love it. I
appreciate
love the
it.
younger generation.
Thank you.
They've got room to grow. I don't know where I'm going, but anyway, they've got room to grow.
We're all growing.
We're
Let's
all
grow
growing
together, right?
There you go.
Yes,
all grow
ma'am.
together. Thank you very much for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. Don't forget to go to YouTube and subscribe. I'd like to thank Steve, who is my producer, and Lynn, who is my talent director, all of them. And of course, thank the Pepper Mill and everybody for coming together and helping us put this show together. It's amazing, and thank you all. Take care. We'll be back next week. If you enjoyed the last show we just did and all the other shows, don't forget to subscribe Vegas Live with Ninon on YouTube. We've got plenty more coming up, and our guests are amazing. So don't forget to subscribe. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.